There's this big, what's it called? There's the strike is going on, right?
Yeah,
There's
the actor strike.
The writer's strike ended,
Yeah.
but the actor's strike is still going on. And, actors need to be paid too.
Yeah.
They really do. But I feel like we're kind of losing focus here. And what has happened now is SAG-AFTRA has come out and they've released a statement on Halloween costumes that are appropriate and what they expect people to wear. And I see, yeah, exactly. There's certain rules that they're setting up, and let me just get into the article, read a little bit. We'll jump around, and then I'll show you the flyer that they did, because it's quite strange, I think, to say the least. Not to let the cat out of the bag immediately on that one, but let's see what it says here. So Ryan Reynolds, Mandy Moore, and Melissa Gilbert called out the Screen Actors Guild of America Federation Television Radio Arts after the union issued a new Halloween costume rule for striking actors. On Wednesday, SAG-AFTRA posted a flyer with guidelines for observing the holiday without undermining the ongoing strike. Kind of a weird way to put that, I think. Cause
I feel like micromanaging is not a way to go right now.
Yeah, especially if people are just playing dress up. But I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay. All right.
Let's keep reading. Let's see. The union instructed members to avoid dressing up as characters from struck content. Which,
okay.
Yeah, I don't like the way that sounds, but instead of opting for generalized characters such as Ghost or Zombie and the classic Spider, everybody loves Spider.
Okay.
And let's see, they asked people to not dress up as Barbie, Wednesday Addams, and Spider-Man.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. I mean, I guess I can see the method and the madness. The idea is like, hey, we are here protesting, what, like as the actor, you're somebody who's promoted these intellectual properties.
Yeah. And
now you're striking against that. The idea is to hurt the studio. But if you go out dressed as those characters, you're doing some form of promotion.
It's a bit of a stretch.
It's a stretch, but I could see the logic behind thinking that.
Yeah.
I still think they should abandon it.
Yeah.
And having this go public is not really a good look.
Yeah, I think that it's pretty silly, and a lot of the actors' responses were like exactly how we're feeling about it.
Yeah.
And I pulled up, the only reason I pulled up the Fox News version of this article, everyone's favorite source, is because they had a really funny quote from Ryan Reynolds, who was talking about this. He was saying, "I look forward to screaming 'scab' at my 8-year-old all night." The 8-year-old, or the Deadpool actor, wrote, "She's not in the union, but she needs to learn," he added. And yeah, there's a lot more other stuff that they said. Immediately after that, that makes you think, it's like, wait, so they're kids also, it applies to them? Because that's a fair point, I think. Like, if you're a famous actor and your daughter wants to dress up as Barbie, you're going to tell them, it's against the regulations for my job, sorry. It's like, that's crazy.
Well, I mean, the kid is not in the union, so he's exaggerating to make a point, which I get it, it's funny. It's just, with the relationship between unions and workers is always kind of fragile anyway.
Absolutely.
Because nobody really wants to pay those dues, and so often it feels like the union is not doing what they need to do. I mean, right now they are. They're in this. They're uniting everybody so they can fight for what they deserve. To not have the studios make money off them on streaming and they get nothing for it, or get replaced by AI. But
is this the way to do it?
This is not the way to do it.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's the idea like, all right, I don't like this, and I don't like being on strike, but this is what the union says. I know you're looking out for my best interest, but to have them, because the corporations, the money people, they try to turn you, a worker, against the union all the time. That's why unions lost so much power. But for the union to then make this bad move of, trying to step in and really, like I say, micromanaging and telling people what to do in their life, this is a bad mark on them. This is the kind of thing that will make
100%.
people turn against, like, well, why am I, who are you to tell me to do this?
And just the fact that someone spent time doing what I'm about to show you, because we went over some of the rules, like, dress up as Ghost or Zombie and Spider. And when you see this, it's going to be, it just gives off just the biggest vibe of give me a break.
Yeah.
Like, why did someone was hired to make this? And I'll just put it up on the screen so you guys can see it. But look at this. Like, someone tried to make this whole cute thing like, hey, we all work for a bigwig. Let's respect their billion-dollar properties and just follow these rules. Like, doesn't it come down to, like, all marketing is good marketing? And also, are we really going to start setting rules and guidelines for playing make-believe?
This could divide people.
The Little House on the Prairie actress, she wrote, this is the
Melissa
best...
Gilbert.
Oh, Melissa Gilbert, thank you, yeah. We're on strike for important reasons and have for nearly 100 days. Our number one priority remains getting the studios back to negotiating tables so we can get a fair deal for our members and finally put the industry back to work. And this is what you guys got. It's a little bit insulting, I think.
It's one night, yeah. The rags will and the blogs will go snap pictures and try to make a big deal out of it. See what Kim Kardashian wore this year. It's always her they focus on, or P. Diddy if he's going to dress as the Joker and act a fool again.
Honestly, I was thinking about it. Usually the best costumes are when they really have a ton of money and they go nuts. I forget who it was, but someone dressed up like a worm one year, and that was just incredible looking.
Yeah.
It was like seeing James and the Giant Peach live. Okay,
Yeah, because she really goes all out every year.
And more power to her. I totally respect that. Halloween is always a fun time. But I believe this was the former guy who was in charge of SAG-AFTRA. Oh, wait, his quote is coming up. But Gilbert went on to say this. She said, please, tell me this is a joke. Please tell me you're going to make this rule go away and go negotiate, which is what we've been saying. It's like, what is this? You messing around with this? Like, people want to go back to work. Like, a lot of people just think, like, with the actors' strike, it's all just, Will Smith. And Ryan Reynolds. But there's way more than that. Like, believe it or not, like, when I was living in LA a few years ago, one of my main gigs was background work.
Yeah.
And when I did that, it would be like a full job. Like, you would show up with the crew at like 6 a.m. Until like 6 p.m. And it would be a full 12-hour day. And all of those people are not working. And it's a lot of who can get those jobs, but still, people have made a consistent career out of doing that, and it sucks, man, because now they have to get their own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That was my favorite part, going in for the free meals and leaving with dinner for tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it sucks, man, that they're not letting those people, continue with what they're doing. And another thing that I wanted to touch on that you briefly mentioned is the whole AI thing. I forget the name of the TV show that it was. It was some time-traveling show. This is a deep cut. Do you remember in the first episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, there was that black actor who was... That guy, he was the lead in this time-traveling show that I was working on.
Oh,
if that rings a bell. I forget what it was called.
No, I remember him being in Better Off Ted.
It was something where they were time traveling, and there was like a whole suffragette thing, and I was on set for like 15 hours. And this was before AI blew up the way that it had. But at one point, I was one of the people who they took off to the side. They lined us up. They had us do poses and stuff, and the guy took pictures with a digital camera. He's like, hey, congrats, you're going to be featured and stuff. And at the time, I was like, oh, shit, I'm going to be in stuff forever? Not thinking about how they bought my soul. So it's something that's been going on for a long time. And I think that this is a serious distraction from the discussions that they need to have.
It is.